itself.
Yeah.
We serve him, and thus we serve death. This is not a comparison, attribution, or preference. It is the truth, and nothing can change it.
In a manner of speaking, yeah. You have satisfied my curiosity for now. I must take my leave.
May the Undying One shroud your footsteps from the faithless.
Oh, we have Abel. Servitor, don't have here anyone. Let's talk to Abel. The person you saved from Electro-Prism, the servant of the Messiah who calls himself Abel the Huneman, is staring intently at the collidators with screen. Whereas connect the sacred computing machine to a commentary inside the peaceful bowed heads of murmuring servitors. Looks up at you. After a lengthy silence, he looks away and says stiffly, "The Omniscient knows souls, comprehends all." How are you feeling, Abel? The running of binary protocol was bogged down and dissolved in false commands. The filter has separated correct signals from the incorrect. The running has been restored to its swiftness. Pascal, oh, we have Pascal here too. Pascal speaks softly. Tech brother Abel has passed the diagnostics. The pernicious influence of sacrilegious procedures has been completely eliminated. Statistically, most survivors of schismatal infections are left with severe cognitive impairment. However, Tech brother Abel's mind, being of a less typical nature, has not been damaged to so great a degree. Gazing to Tech brother, are you free from possession? You are free from possession, are you not? I trust you pose no threat to my ship. God's float has since been purged, but the shadows of the hand linger. The cog is dismounted, and no judgment has been made. In the absence of judgment, threat remains. Who will make the judgment? I will. Pascal says, I will. I will make... I'll make the judgment that will avert the threat. There is no need to frighten him. What troubles him so? I assume at first that this was caused by the shock inflicted upon his system by the schismatical attack, but my technical words are a sign of a deeper reason of his unease. He foresees something that threatens both him and all around him, and thus I stand ready to face this threat. What judgment do you two speak of? Only he knows, but if my brother fears that he might not take the right decision at the critical moment, then I will do it for him. Why are you so concerned about him? He's not the one you're hoping to find. Answer unknown. I am registering a kinship, both between our identifiers and one that's more profound. Archmagus Amarnath left an imprint in all his students. I may be then that I see some of my mentor in Tech brother Abel, and so my spirit rejoices and strives to keep him from harm. You care for him as if he were your younger brother. Yet brother is harmonious, and harmony is beauty. It is so strange and nice to protect beauty from the horrors of the grotesque. I will try not to give Abel an undue cause for dread. Thank you. Why do you and Pascal have the same name? The naming of the names is not an index to the text. The naming of the name is the text. Okay? Abel's answers are enigmatic. His mind works differently from us. He thinks in harmonic imagery and notices the symmetries and proportional relationships in the world around him. Poetry will be closest analysis of how he perceives and interacts with reality. Wow. I never imagined there will be points among tech list. Why not? Technalingua is rhythmical and possesses a broad schematic scope, and some of its more sonorous dialects lend themselves well to individual and symphonic declamation. Pascal, do you understand what Abel is referring to? Negative. However, I will hypothesize. Tech Brother Abel is seeking to convey the idea that our matching identifiers are not the key to some vital data point. They are in and of themselves a vital data point. At this stage in my analysis, I can draw no useful conclusion from this promotion. However, the very fact that Tech Brother Abel is trying to hint at something points to him either being better informed than I am or having conducted a more in-depth analysis of the situation. That is useful information. Soften your tone. Abel, could you please explain? What do you mean? Abel relaxed a little. His gaze drifts. There is silence. Are we ever thinking it doesn't matter why your names are the same? What matters is that they are the same? Is that what you mean? At this point of time, the circle has been broken and reshaped to its rising spiral, as Amaranth envisioned. They are connected. My hypothesis regarding Abel's connection to the blessed Amaranth has been confirmed. Into the cogitator. What are you working on? We catch the soul of the light in the solar wind. We look for the footsteps of the Messiah. The footsteps the Messiah left when he walked the desert. This is the oniromantic computation procedure. The depersonalized minds of these machine servants are in a data dream, processing enormous arrays of assorted data and aggregated. Virtually all results of such synthesis are scrap data, but occasionally we have noted coincidences whose exactness defied logic. It is an extremely rare and venerated form of statistical augury, but Variables is adept at this form of appealing to Deus Mechanicus. Take a closer look at the big screen to check anything unusual. Succeed. You notice something reappearing patterns in the scroll. You may not know what it means, but you clearly see or rather sense their similarities. You point this out while making his face light up with joy. A crystal is exquisite in clear water. Deviation from the cycle trail have been increased as was Amaranth's with. Okay. Like Brother Abel has dedicated a lesser area to you. The piece is distinguished by a high degree of acoustic harmony in its fit for use as a model. Auxiliary identifier epitaph. About I thank you for the generous gift. The gift is disproportionate, but it does signal a personal affinity. Inspect the sacred machine. And he inspects this. Why do you do it? It is how we execute the quest of knowledge in the hope that the machine could grant us an epiphany so that we may discern a logical connection in a mass which will propel our comprehension. My interest design has been exhausted. Did you hear what Abel said? It seems we have contributed to deviate from the circle. What does that mean to you? We follow a path charted by a great mind, but that path leads to dark places. The circle, wow. The circle has the advantage of predictability. Abandoning it will plunge the collective into perilous space of uncertainty, which will inevitably lead to disasters and the risk of universal annihilation. The doctrine of discontinuing the cycle may herald good things to come, or may be a death sentence. Only the Omnissiah knows and comprehends all. Others are mere prophets who interpret his wisdom as far as their own comprehension limits. Is not that the It is better to meet the challenge of change and perish in failure than rot alive. This statement is true. The annihilation promised by stagnation is inevitable. Annihilation is the course of a crisis. Annihilation, the course of a crisis of change, is mere probable. And meekly waiting for the foretold decline is shameful and constitutes a betrayal of the quest of knowledge. I must take my leave. I'm glad to see you. End of dialogue. So now we can talk to you, my friend. Pascal.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Do you know anything about the malfunction services on the ship?
Information about the incidents has been detected in the catalog. The incidents have been acknowledged as insignificant. A technical inquiry has established that the most statistically likely cause of the errors was a transgression of sacrilegious negligence during the lobotomizing rite. This disgraceful act of malfeasance has allowed shadows of the servitor's thoughts and recollections to survive in the depths of his mind, which ought to be dedicated to service alone. As a ship's engine seer, I accept the results of the technical inquiry. As a learned servant of the Omnissiah, I question its findings. The patterns of the malfunctions form a more complex picture than can be discerned by those of lower ranks. For this reason, instructions have been issued across the ship to report any new incidents to me personally.
I want to know more about your past.
The request is approved. I have no outright restrictions on disclosing this information.
Where are you from?
Information about my origins is worthless. I belong to the priesthood of explorators and came to the Koronus Expanse over 200 years ago. Any events preceding that moment are insignificant.
How did you end up in Koronus Expanse?
I was honored to become a member of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. When the Adeptus Mechanicus summoned the faithful for an exploratory venture into the depths of the Koronus Expanse, I joined the fleet in fulfillment of my sacred vows of comprehension.
Why you are not with the fleet then?
Archmagus Amanat, my blessed mentor, commanded me to crew the orbital station Altar Templum Calixus X-17.
Who are the exploradors?
The sacred fraternity of explorers. The cult Mechanica sends us out to the frontiers of the known sectors as researchers and conquerors. We are the warriors of the code, who return to the lost worlds and devote themselves to recovering the lost ancient knowledge. Explorators are granted the privilege of being more independent than many of our tech comrades. However, it has earned us a reputation as unstable and poorly controlled troublemakers whose unorthodox views are dangerously close to apostasy.
Tell me about your mechadendrites.
They are my younger brothers and guides on the way to the Omnissiah. Their machine spirits are directly bound to my neocortex and pick up impulses from my subconscious. Sometimes they act ahead of my thoughts. This is how the Omnissiah leads me to comprehension.
You can't stop here.
Acknowledged.
I want to know the truth about you.
The request is approved. I did conceal certain information. I was a student of Archmagos Amanat, but I committed an act of betrayal after he deviated from sacred dogma.
What did Amarnath do?
He fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded, because by refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things. My mentor put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and forced worship of the Omnissiah. He sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition because he saw the inevitable demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
Certain aspects of the Imperium have indeed ossified. His argument sounds reasonable.
This statement is false. My mentor's words sound like heresy. Limits were established because it is dangerous to venture beyond. Each step past them could lead to a bloody slaughter, but the blessed Amanat was not afraid.
How did you betray Amarnath?
The teachings of the blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy. Many tech priests suddenly vanished or were subjected to servo penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat, whose number included many enlightened and respected tech priests, resisted. My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizance fleet. That was when I headed to the conclave. I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the conclave. Brazen anthematic studies of the forbidden law. The conclave could use that data to summon Archmagos Amanat to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
Well, arson the first one. That was rather callous of you. I guess you really do have a head of metal.
This statement is true. However, I took this step out of loyalty to my mentor. He rejected caution and was leading us to a blasphemous war where he would become the first and most important victim. I did not want to witness his destruction and tried to force him to submit. I wanted to return to my mentor and share his fate, but the conclave found me repentant and sent me to the station Altar Templum Calixus X-17, where I was to atone for my previous transgressions.
You're as good as finding excuses as you are at technology.
This statement is false. I, Pascal Hahnemann, fully accept responsibility for my profane acts and betraying the trust of my esteemed mentor.
Yeah, I should have it, yeah. So why did you go to Rykat
I was
Minors?
summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the Blessed Amanat's personal code, and could it be interpreted in several ways. One thing was certain: we were in danger, and I had to go to Rykat Minoris.
The tech priest named Abel, who is he?
Assessing his personality is difficult. The spirit of Brother Abel is different from that of most people. Tech comrades of the cog call such persons quiet ones. He possesses significant intellect, but shuns communication. So far, I have not been able to determine why Abel summoned me to Rykat Minoris, how he is related to the Blessed Amanat, or why he bears the same name as me. Perhaps the Reverend Abel cannot fully actualize and interpret the available data.
What are you going to do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the Blessed Archmagos Amanat, who assumed the guise of Abel Hahnemann. But there is a connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link.
I have no more questions.
Acknowledged. I will return to ruminating on the search for the Blessed Amanat.
Tell me more about the Adeptus Mechanicus.
I am honored to belong to the priesthood of Mars, guided by its tenets. We safeguard technology against the impure and the unenlightened.
Why did you mention Mars?
That is where the cult of the Omnissiah originated, and where we were granted the first revelations. Many millennia ago, we made an alliance with the Emperor of Terra, and have served the Imperium ever since, paying a tribute to machinery, weapons, and void ships. Everything that bears the blessed seal of machinery comes from our hands, and it is we who make sure the operating rituals are performed as they were meant to. We are everywhere. We are the Mars-forged steel bars that give the Imperium strength.
What do you mean you got it? It's not buried treasure, it's not a secret.
It is both a treasure and a secret. Technology is how the divinity of the Omnissiah manifests itself in this world. This is why the uninitiated may only be allowed to touch the most vulgar and mundane of its instances. We, on the other hand, are authorized to use the sacred catechism of maintenance and operation. Although there is another reason to deny lay people the sacrament of knowledge, it can be dangerous. Twisted by renegades, the Omnissiah's wisdom is called heretic, and the exposure to it may corrupt the uninitiated. Another danger is knowledge, strangely interpreted and inscrutably twisted by the minds of xenos. This bane is called xenos.
Banning things you cannot understand is the opposite of seeking knowledge. Technology is merely a tool that can be employed without risk by wiser wielder.
That is a bold hypothesis, and yet the Omnissiah teaches us that a dauntless mind can penetrate any knowledge through analysis, where the ignorant see heresy, the enlightened might see truth.
Do you hold a high position in your fraternity?
This electu indicates that I am a magos, who has mastered the sacraments of many spheres of knowledge, and has the right to conduct services in a forged cathedral.
What is the Omnissiah in your understanding?
He is the divine mechanism, the maker of technology. The universe was made to resemble a mechanical marvel, because the Omnissiah rules over it. Knowledge is the highest form that he uses to manifest in the world. For now. Someday, he will come to this world in the absolute fullness of his splendor. The Adeptus Mechanicus worship the Emperor. He is the earthly manifestation of the Omnissiah, who brought humanity into the light of divine grace.
What is behind the Adeptus Mechanicus enthusiasm for replacing flesh with augmentations?
Organic tissue is an imperfect replica of the machine, transient and vulnerable. Metal is more stable, more effective, and more durable. Flesh speak is flawed next to binaric language. Meat begets weakness, it softens the mind and undermines discipline. But you can replace metal when it wears down. In addition, a machine is a supreme form of knowledge, and by assuming mechanical form, we become closer to the Omnissiah. However, like all things sacred, our augmentations must not be defiled by the eyes of the ignorant, which is why we reveal only the crudest of tools, while holier mechanisms remain concealed beneath our crimson robes.
I'm curious to see your augmentations.
The right to witness the miracle of flesh being fused with holy metal is granted only to those who have ascended to the rank of initiate. However, your lofty status of rogue trader allows me to make a partial exception and reveal my sacred stigmata.
Nice. Askar's rivalry parts the rope scarlet holes of his chest. You see emaciated white meat gone through by metallic shunts of flexible wires. Blood runs through transparent pipes enriched with the nutrients required by the pallid flesh. Oh, test. Failed. The side of a body transformed into an appendage of some ancient mechanism is sickening. It is like I'm impressed.
Flesh may be fragile, but metal is strong, and so is my devotion.
You have a strange way. Is that because of augmentation? Does your faith dictate how you express yourself?
Partially true. I had a voice modulator implanted alongside the respiratory purification module, but there is an additional reason. Gothic is not my first language. I am used to thinking and making statements in lingua technis. The binaric language is more informative, more ergonomic, and less prone to misinterpretation.
I have no more questions.
Acknowledged.
Must take my leave.